Okay, good morning. Welcome to the students at the Jamaica School of Preaching and Biblical Studies in Kingston, Jamaica. And welcome also to the viewers on the internet. We're looking at Introduction to Biblical Hebrew, lesson number 10, which I'm going to be finishing in a few minutes. We have looked at Composite Shewa last week. Then yesterday we looked at Maqqeph. And today we're going to be briefly examining 2 points each about Qames-Hatuph and comparing it with Qames-A, the long R sound. And then after that, we're getting into lesson 11, which deals with one topic, and that is Daghesh, Lene. You'll soon learn more about these, but before I continue, let us go to God in prayer. Father in heaven, I give you thanks for the opportunity that you've given to me to study Hebrew and to be able to teach it to others. I pray that these students will learn it so well that they can teach it to others, and that this will help them in their own search of the Bible to find out what it means, and will improve their ability to teach the Word of God to others. We pray you may be with me and with them in a special way, that we will be able to grasp this language. In Jesus' name, amen. So I'm going right over to Qames-Hatuph, and that's it there on the screen. How to recognize when what looks like a capital T in English is Qames-A, that is the long R sound, and when capital T, that symbol that looks like our capital T in English, is Qames-Hatuph, which is a short O sound pronounced up, like in top. Now on the left side of the screen, you have Qames-A. On the right side of the screen, you have Qames-Hatuph. And so I'm going to be comparing and looking at how do you know when the same symbol that is used for Qames-A and Qames-Hatuph is one or the other. Well, first of all, let us look at the left side of the screen at Qames-A. Qames-A is found in an open syllable. That is a syllable which is made up of a consonant and a vowel. For example, in the noun Adam, pronounced in English Adam, Aleph is followed by that symbol that looks like our capital T. Let me just draw it on the board so you can see. Okay, so we're looking at an open syllable. Here is the word, well, this is so pale. Let me try another one. Let me use the blue marker. Okay, here is Aleph. It has no pronunciation in English. It is a consonant. And it is followed by a vowel. The vowel is underneath the Aleph. And it looks like our capital T in English. On the board, you can see that when you have a consonant followed by a vowel, this is called an open syllable. And the rule is that if there is an open syllable consisting of a consonant and a vowel, let's call it C, V, consonant, vowel, consonant, vowel. If there is an open syllable which consists of a consonant and a vowel, then this symbol would be Qames A. It would be the long A sound. The long A sound, like in father. Ah. So, let's look and see on the other side of the screen, over in the part that deals with Qames-Hatuph. Over on this side, Qames-Hatuph is never found in an open syllable. That is a syllable which is made up of a consonant and a vowel. So Qames A is found in an open syllable. That is a syllable which is made up of a consonant and a vowel. But Qames-Hatuph, that short O sound, up, is never found in an open syllable. Okay? So Qames A is found in an open syllable, but Qames-Hatuph is not found in an open syllable. Then the second one, Qames A is not found in a closed syllable. That is a syllable which is made up of a consonant and a vowel, followed by another consonant. And here's an important exception. If this syllable is not accented. If the syllable is not accented, then if it is closed, then it mustn't be Qames A. It must be Qames-Hatuph. I want you to bear in mind that most of the time, the accent is on the last syllable. But if the accent is to be used on another syllable other than the last syllable, the accent mark, which looks like an arrowhead, will be placed on the syllable. So when you see a closed syllable, you need to ask yourself the question, where is the accent? Where is the accent? Okay, so let me just erase this. Well, this whiteboard is not working properly because the marker I have is what you call a whiteboard marker, and it's supposed to come off as soon as you apply the paper to it. But when I put alcohol on it, though, it comes off better. Okay, now here is a closed syllable. A closed syllable consists of a consonant followed by a vowel and followed by another consonant. Okay? So if you have a consonant followed by a vowel, but it doesn't end there, it is followed by another consonant, and if the accent is not over it, then it would take a short vowel. This would have to be a short vowel. That's the grammatical rule. So long as there is no stress, no emphasis placed on this syllable, consonant, vowel, consonant, C for consonant, V for vowel, C for consonant. This is a closed syllable. So as long as there is no accent over this syllable, it must take a short vowel. Therefore, if the vowel is what looks like our capital T in English, and it's in a closed syllable that has no accent over it, it is not at the end of a word where usually the accent lies, and it is in another syllable, but it has no accent over it, no accent symbol like that. If it is closed and it is not accented, then it must take a short vowel. So if you see this, then it would be a Qames-Hatuph. So looking on the other side of the board, of the screen, what we see is this. Qames-Hatuph is found in a closed syllable. That is a syllable which is made up of a consonant and a vowel, followed by another consonant, if this syllable is not accented. Okay? So two things. Qames-Hatuph is never found in an open syllable. Qames-Hatuph is found in a closed syllable, as long as that syllable is not accented. Okay, so we're going to be leaving this lesson. Okay, we're going to be leaving this lesson. This is the last slide for this lesson, lesson 10, which summarizes everything. Composite Shewa is a combination of the simple Shewa and the short vowel Hathak or Segol or Qames-Hatuph. It functions as a half-short vowel. It can only go under guttural consonants like Aleph, A, Kef, and Ayin. Maqqeph is a short horizontal line like a hyphen or a dash, connecting words together. Its effect is to cause those words coming before it to lose their accents, resulting in a long vowel of the word before it to change to its corresponding short vowel. Qames-Hatuph is found in a closed syllable which is not accented. I've gotten these sources of information from the Bible, from Wine-Green's Practical Grammar for Classical Hebrew, 2nd edition, pages 12 to 13, and some Hebrew tutorial videos on Maqqeph. I didn't show you the one in Qames-Hatuph. Maybe I should go ahead and show you that one before we go on to the new lesson. All right, so this is the final tutorial for this particular lesson. Yeah. Okay.
Qames-Hatuph. Finally, we come to the module that I've been talking about. The module where we're going to distinguish between Qames-Hatuph. The Qames in our simplified vowel chart showed up on this side. Under it was our Hataf, more A vowels. Next to it, we had the Sere and the Segol, E vowels. We had an I vowel, which was Sere. This is a simplified chart now. I'm sorry, Hidit, Yud, where Yud sometimes is there, because it is bracket here. The short Hidit down here. And what do we have next? I guess the whole vowel, so Holam. And sometimes the vowel is there, sometimes it wasn't. And Qames-Hatuph. Just to be complete, let's put our shidduch and our kibbutz here, our vowels. So what we're doing here is distinguishing between this vowel and this vowel. Same symbol, different vowel. This is the long A, This is the short O, pronounced A, Qames-Hatuph. Now, there are rules for determining when you have comments. I'm not even going to tell you those, though, because there's not much point to learn them. You may as well just learn the rules for how to determine when you have comments. Sorry, a Qames-Hatuph. The Qames-Hatuph is much less common. So when you're reading, if you just be on the lookout for a Qames-Hatuph, then assume the comments otherwise. So learn the smaller case, the less common case. Now our rule for this is built on the, or related to syllables. Seems a lot of vowel activity is related to syllables. Remember, we have two types of syllables. We have open, closed, and for each we have a stress. If you see this symbol in a closed, unstressed syllable, CDC unstressed, then you have a Qames-Hatuph. That is your basic rule. If you learn that, then you'll know how to distinguish the two. Let's take a look at an example. Look at the word Bayako. Ba, ya, Yako. Now we'll talk about what this dot is later. Don't worry about that right now. Let's just divide this up into syllables. The important syllable division is here. Bayako. Oh, most importantly, we have a stress here. Bayako. So because we have a stress here, this is the tonic syllable, this is not. So this syllable here is a C, B, C, unstressed, and it has this symbol in it, so we know it's a Qames-Hatuph. So it's pronounced Bayako, not Bayaka. Okay, that's an example of a CBC unstressed at the end of a word. Let's take a look at another example. This is pronounced called code. Our syllables here, our stress is here, because it's not marked, so it's at the end by default. And so here we have, again, a CDC, consonant, vowel, consonant, unstressed, the stress is falling here. We have a little symbol, so we know it's a Qames-Hatuph. So this is a short O, called code, not code. So this is our short O, that's the important thing. So if you remember our basic rule, then you know how to distinguish the two. Now there's another case, but we've already dealt with it. If you see, it really falls to the if you see a method before a comments, you know it is a long A. It is a real comments. And that's because this method is causing a syllable break. So you don't have a closed syllable, you have an open syllable. So just remember, if you see a method next to a comments, it's a comments, it's a full comments, the A, not the comments. Another one to remember, just because it occurs, it's really part of this rule, but we dealt with it already. Maqqeph. Cold, when it has a Maqqeph, will have a little Qames-Hatuph there. And that's because it's reduced. The rest of this word causes stress, and when you join two words with Maqqeph, the rest of the whole thing becomes one word. Stress is over here. So this reduced from a holum to a Qames-Hatuph, which makes sense. So you can hear all vowels going down. This long one, that short one. So that's just a common case. You see it. Memorize this rule. CBC unstressed is Qames-Hatuph. Method with the comments is a real comments.
Okay, I'm moving on to the next lesson now, and that is Daghesh Lene. The general objectives for this lesson are to examine the meaning of Daghesh Lene, to examine what part of a letter Daghesh Lene may be found in, to examine what effect Daghesh Lene has on a letter, to examine which letters may take a Daghesh Lene, to examine when a letter may get a Daghesh Lene, and to examine when a letter may not get a Daghesh Lene. Specific objectives. At the end of this lesson, the students will have explained the meaning of two Hebrew words, Daghesh and Lene. At the end of this lesson, the students will have identified what part of a letter Daghesh Lene may be found in. At the end of this lesson, the students will have orally expressed or expressed by word of mouth what effect Daghesh Lene has on the pronunciation of a letter. At the end of this lesson, the students will have identified 6 letters which may take Daghesh Lene. At the end of this lesson, the students will have explained when one of these 6 letters may take Daghesh Lene. And finally, at the end of this lesson, the students will have explained when one of these 6 letters may not take Daghesh Lene. First of all, let us look at the meaning of Daghesh. Daghesh, which is spelled like here in Hebrew, Daleth, Hamis A, the long A, Gimel, followed by Serek, the long E sound, and Shin, Daghesh. Daghesh means in English piercing. That is, you have bored a hole. You bored a hole through. Daghesh is a dot in the heart of a consonant. Daghesh, when you have put the symbol down on paper, is a dot in the heart or the middle of a consonant. The other word, Lene, is a Hebrew word that means weak, and it is distinguished from another kind of Daghesh called strong. There is a strong Daghesh and there is a weak Daghesh. Okay, the strong Daghesh is called Daghesh forte. Forte means strong. We're only going to be looking at the weak Daghesh today. Okay, now Daghesh Lene hardens the sound of a consonant so that it changes the pronunciation of the consonant. Again, Daghesh Lene hardens the sound of a consonant so that it changes the pronunciation of the consonant. For example, the consonant Beth. The consonant Beth, without the dot in the heart or the middle of it, is to be pronounced as V, such as in van. But when it has the dot in the heart or the middle of it, like this, it is to be pronounced B or book, such as in bathroom. Another example is the consonant Fe. Without the dot in the heart or the middle of it, it is pronounced as PH, such as in telephone, or as the F in fan. But when it has the dot in the heart or the middle of it, like what you see here, it is to be pronounced as P or P, such as in calf. So Daghesh Lene changes the sound of a consonant from a soft sound to a hard sound. So this is B This is book. This is, I can hardly even hear it. This is cook. It changes the soft sound to a hard sound. So, Orain was making fun of the Daghesh Lene a while ago, but I'm going to use a Jamaican word on him. Daghesh Lene might be weak, but it is talawa. It is talawa. In other words, it can do great things, even though it's weak, because it can change the sound of a consonant from being soft to being hard. It changes the V to a B. It changes the F or the PH to a P. So it does have some amount of energy, but it's not as strong as another Daghesh we will be looking on at a later date. Now let us look at the consonants that may take this dot in the middle of it. I'm going to be giving you some ideas how to remember it. Let me just erase this one. Okay. Now, this is not really a Hebrew word, but people who write Hebrew grammars have made up a Hebrew word to help us to remember the 6 letters that will take that dot in the middle of it. And I'm going to write it out. Sorry, it's not the one. They call this Begaf. Then they have another word here. Okay. Fat. Begaf, kefat. Begaf, kefat. I think it's fat. Okay. Okay. So they have made 2 words here. Begaf, kefat. Begaf, kefat. Now, if you can remember Begaf, kefat, you will remember the letters that take a Daghesh Lene. This is Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Fe, and Thau. These are the 6 letters, and only these 6 letters, in the alphabet that will take a dot in the middle of them. No other letters but these. Okay, so let us look on the screen. These are the 6 consonants. Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Fe, and Thau, which may take Daghesh Lene. Daghesh Lene may be found in the heart or the middle of any of the consonants above. When any one of these consonants starts a syllable in the beginning or middle of a word, providing that there is no vowel immediately before that consonant. Let me read that again. Daghesh Lene may be found in the heart or the middle of any of the consonants above when any one of these consonants are at the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word and they start the syllable. But if there is a vowel before this letter, as we're going to see in the next slide, if there is a vowel before this letter that has the Daghesh Lene in it, the Daghesh Lene is going to run and hide. It can't take it. When there is a vowel right before the letter that has the Daghesh Lene in it, it is not going to stay in the letter, it is going to leave. It can't really stay there if there is a vowel. Let me illustrate it with the next slide. Okay. Now, notice there is a Daghesh Lene in the bed, and it starts a syllable. This is batak, which means he trusted. And notice it starts the syllable. It's at the beginning and it starts the syllable. Ba-ah, ba-ah. So Daghesh Lene is in Beth because it starts a syllable. It starts a syllable. Notice over here also, yik-bor, sorry, yik-bor, yik-bor. Notice in bor, which is the final syllable of this word, Beth or Beth starts the syllable. It's not at the beginning of the word, but it starts the syllable. This is one syllable, and this is the next syllable. And it starts the syllable, and it has the Daghesh Lene in it. So this is at the beginning of a word, and it starts the syllable. It has a Daghesh Lene. This is more or less in the middle of the word, and it starts a syllable. It has the Daghesh Lene in it. But notice what happens. In this example here, Yivtak, which means he will trust, there is a vowel, the short vowel Irik, immediately before the Beth, and the Daghesh Lene has to come out. It can't stay because this short vowel will not allow it to stay. There is no vowel before this word, this syllable, so it can stay. But once you have a vowel before it, even if it is a short vowel, the Daghesh Lene is not going to stay there. It has to go. So you have the vowel here before Beth, and this Daghesh Lene goes away. Yivtak, the vowel, short Parik, causes Beth not to have a Daghesh Lene. This word here is Lene. I didn't get it on the screen. Lene. Now over here is another example of what happens when there is a vowel before a consonant that has a Daghesh Lene in it. Here is the verb kavar, kavar, and it means he buried. Notice that there is the vowel Qames-A, the long ah sound, before Beth. And even though Beth begins the syllable over here, since there is a vowel before the Beth, the Daghesh Lene, which you see up here, cannot stay in this verb. It has to leave. When there is a vowel before a consonant that has a Daghesh Lene in it, you're not going to have the Daghesh Lene staying in that consonant. So notice, Beth does not have Daghesh Lene because a vowel, Qames-A, is before it. So you will have Daghesh Lene when the consonant starts a syllable, either in the beginning of a word or in the middle of a word. But if there is a vowel, before the consonant that would ordinarily take a Daghesh Lene in it, the Daghesh Lene is not going to stay, but it's going to run away.
Too much stress there.
Too much stress, yes. So the Daghesh Lene is not going to stay in Beth, it is going to leave Beth. Can't stay there when this vowel is before it. I suppose that is a sign of its weakness. It can't stay, it's weak. Any question? Okay, so let us look at a summary of Daghesh Lene. Daghesh means piercing, and it refers to a dot which is in the heart or the middle or the center of a consonant. Lene means weak. The effect of Daghesh Lene is to harden the consonant and to change its pronunciation. Daghesh Lene may only go in 6 consonants: Beth, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Fe, Thau, Egath, Kefat. Egath, Kefat. Egath, Kefat. They only go in 6 consonants: Beth, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Fe, Thau. Daghesh Lene may go in these 6 consonants if any one of them starts a syllable at the beginning or in the middle of a word. Daghesh Lene may not go in any one of these 6 consonants if there is a vowel immediately before it. Now we're going to look at a video that summarizes Daghesh Lene.
Daghesh Lene. Now, the Daghesh Lene is something we've already seen in the lesson letters with dots in chapter 1. We looked at 6 Hebrew letters that can take this thing called Daghesh Lene. They were called Bagad Fat letters. Bagad Fat. If you remember, this is a mnemonic. If you remember the 6 that contain the Daghesh Lene. If they have the Daghesh Lene, they are a stop or a hard sound. If they don't have it, they're a continuous sound. Now, what we did cover in that lesson, that module, was how to tell when the Daghesh Lene is there and when it isn't. And so that's what I want to do right now. The rule is that there are 2 conditions that need to be met for Daghesh Lene to show up, to stay there. One is that it has to be at the beginning of a syllable. And the second, they both have to be met. So I'm going to put a big hand here. And secondly, the first, it must be at the beginning of the syllable. And secondly, it must not follow a vowel. Not follow vowel. So no preceding vowel. Beginning of syllable and no preceding vowel. That's where you'll see the Bagad Fat letter having a Daghesh Lene. Daghesh Lene would be one of these letters if these conditions are met. Let's look at some examples. Okay, let's look at the word bayit. His house. So here we have a Bagad Fat letter, the bait, and it is beginning a word and therefore a syllable. No preceding vowel. So Daghesh Lene is there, it's pronounced bayit, not bayit. Okay, do another one. Midbar. I think we already seen. Wilderness, Midbar. And let us put our syllable division in there. So here we have a bait, which is a Bagad Fat letter, and it begins a syllable, and there is no preceding vowel. This is a closed consonant CBC. It's a silent Shewa, right? It's not a vowel, it's a syllable marker. Silent Shewa. So given that this is silent Shewa, our conditions are met. This letter is the beginning of the syllable, no preceding vowel. So the Daghesh Lene is there. Dalet is also a Qames-Hatuph letter, so it could take a Daghesh Lene. Does it meet those two conditions? Is it at the beginning of a syllable? No, it's at the end of a syllable. And not only that, it follows a vowel. So on both counts, it's the Daghesh Lene is eliminated, takes off. Okay, let's look at another word. This is a good word for this. There's lots of 5 letters in it. Cool. Kohavim. 3 syllables. Mark them. Kohavim. So, first, they all start with the Qames letters. This one, this one, this one. So Kaf should have a Daghesh Lene. Well, we see it does. Why does it? Because it starts a syllable and there's no preceding vowel. No vowel. This Kaf also starts a syllable, but is there a preceding vowel? Full vowel, very much vowel. So Daghesh Lene takes off. No Daghesh Lene here because of the preceding vowel. Beit, another Qames-Hatuph letter, begins a syllable, that's fine. But there's a preceding vowel, so the Daghesh Lene. So both conditions have to be met for the Daghesh Lene to stay there. Let me give you another one here. Devarim. Devarim is also a word we looked at. Did. We looked at this earlier. This is words. It's words. What are divisions in there too? Devarim. Now, this one is a Qames-Hatuph letter. Begins with a syllable, no preceding vowel. There's the Daghesh Lene. Meets both conditions. This is also the Qames-Hatuph letter. It begins a syllable, so that's fine. And doesn't have a vowel before it. Well, Devarim, in fact, it does. This guy is a vocal Shewa. The presence of a vowel, any vowel, even the smallest of vowels, the vocal Shewa is the most reduced of all vowels. Even that little vowel is enough to scare away the Daghesh Lene that would otherwise be here. Now, when you look at this word, you have to be a little careful because you look at this word and there's no Daghesh here. You look at this word, which one? Do I have one here? Devarim. Yes, here. This one, same thing. You got a beit following a Shewa. There is a Daghesh. Here you have a beit following a Shewa. There is no Daghesh. Why is that? Because this is a silent Shewa. This is a vocal Shewa. So when you're thinking about Daghesh Lenes and whether it should or shouldn't be there, you have to first figure out whether your Shewa is vocal or not, if you have one there. Because vocal Shewa is a vowel. Silent Shewa is not a vowel. Silent Shewa is simply a syllable marker. And any vowel will cause Daghesh Lene to take off. Okay, so Daghesh Lene is pretty weak, really. Any vowel is going to scare away. Let's take a look at one other example, one other case. And this is, you have a word called like Ken. Ken means thus or so. Daghesh Lene in the Qames-Hatuph letter, or vowel preceded. But if you proceed it with a method here, by he, a separate word, by he means and it was. So and it was so. When you have these two together, the Daghesh Lene disappears. So let's get rid of it. So even in the presence of a vowel that is in the preceding word, Daghesh Lene takes off. So it's not that strong. Now we had an example, a similar example to this. We had vocab here instead. In our Genesis 5, Genesis 1 to 5 reading. let me try and do this here. Okay, we'll copy this down here, and let us put in vocab. Here's what the word was. Just vocab. And it was Maqqeph here. This is where it says Vaihi Erev, it was evening, Vaihi vocab, it was evening, it was morning, day one. Now this is the same situation. You have a Begonic font letter that could take a Daghesh Lene, begins a syllable, but it follows a vowel. Now here it's followed even more closely than here because you have a Maqqeph just joining both together. So, but that's why you say Vaihi vocab, not Vaihi vocab. So Daghesh Lene can disappear quite easily. The thing to remember is really just our two conditions. Daghesh Lene will only be there if it's at the beginning of a syllable and does not follow a vowel, any vowel, even a vocal vowel.
Okay, so we have looked at Daghesh Lene. Now, Lord willing, next week we're going to be looking at the next lesson, lesson number 12, that will be dealing with Daghesh Forte. Same idea, dot in the middle of a word, but it is going to be a strong Daghesh. So strong that it causes the letter that it is in to repeat itself. It doubles the letter. So we'll be looking at the strong version of Daghesh next week, God willing. Right. Okay, so we'll have a break now, viewers. And by about 1:30, we will resume for Introduction to Biblical Hermeneutics. Thank you for joining us. Bye. Okay.